Thank you so much for hanging out with us today on Comics from the Future. We're super excited to have you here, and thank you for joining us. We're going to go over the latest and greatest comic books coming up, new series starting, awesome variant covers, and all that good stuff. In case you don't know, my name is Megan.
I'm Andy.
Jason. We're with Infinity Flux out of Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Before we begin today's video, if you could please take a second and subscribe to our YouTube channel, we'd really appreciate it. And make sure to let us know in the comments what you're most excited to check out this week, and let's just jump right into it.
All right, we're going to start with our featured comics this week.
And what do you know? It's a new Batman related title. This one sounds really cool. So this is GCPD The Blue Wall #1. This is going to be a 6-part miniseries, and much in the kind of tone following the footsteps of like Gotham Central. This is going to be following Renee Montoya, who I don't think in current continuity if she's the Question, but she is going to be heading up the Gotham City Police Department. And it's supposed to be kind of the early days of her going there and basically trying to take the police department out of the corruption and everything of Gotham, where it's lost a lot of faith in the citizens, and try to rebuild that in a city where there's super criminals and Batman and his family running around. How does someone just do their normal job and protect and serve? So that's what this is going to be about. This is going to be written by John Ridley. The art is by Stefano Raphael. So really cool, very on the ground. I skimmed through an early review that we got of it. This is very, not. I feel like you've got the Bat books that are skipping along the rooftops. This is definitely street level, in the buildings, pretty hard hitting cop drama. So if you like that kind of thing, you will definitely like this. It seems to be done very, very well. And we got a couple of covers.
You still got to have Batman in the background, though.
Yes.
His shadow looms over everything.
And then we have this awesome. There's so many questions about this in this Francavilla cover, where it's like, did they get a bad tip and said Batman's doing something bad? He's like, I'm just actually in here rescuing this cat. I don't know, but I love this cover.
Okay, so another new one from Marvel is Strange Academy Finals. So this is a one shot that's going to sort of be the capstone end issue of just freshman year of Strange Academy. Don't worry, Strange Academy is way too big of a hit. It will be back for next year. I guess it's sophomore year. But the freshman year, which went on for quite a while, I mean, the series has gone for some time, is being ended with this issue that promises to determine the future of magic in the Marvel universe. I mean, with this many magicians together, both the students and the teachers, that this is sort of the epicenter of magic in the Marvel universe. So again, this is just going to be a one shot. It's going to be 32 pages though, so extended issue. And I have a feeling something big's going to happen in it. Solicitation doesn't say a whole lot. I think they're just keeping it up the sleeves right now. So we got a few covers. The regular, here is the NETEASE variant. Then we have the REILLY window shades variant. See how all the students look out through the windows. And lastly, here is the Weaver trading card variant with Doyle Dormammu, definitely one of the breakout characters of Strange Academy.
The word finals, I've been out of college a long time, still gives me hives. Just being like, oh, I don't like that.
And next up is Damn Them All. This is a new one from Boom Studios. You probably recognize the artwork on there. This is from the legendary Charlie Adler doing the artwork on this from Walking Dead. And we also have Simon Spurrier writing this one, who just recently did Step by Bloody Step. So it looks like a really cool new series. It is a dark supernatural thriller for fans of We Have Demons and Something is Killing the Children. It is about, I'm assuming our main character is here on the cover, named Ellie Bloody L Hawthorne. So he's an occultist for hire, and basically his goal was an occult detective who has recently died. And after that death, 72 devils have been released from their captivity. So Ellie is going to have to use holy water conjuration and a rusty claw hammer to drag them all back and I guess damn them all. So it sounds like a really cool premise, and I'm really excited to see Charlie Adler's work on this. So definitely check it out. It's going to be a 6-part miniseries with a bunch of different covers to choose from. Here's our main one. And then we have the Dani variant. This will be a foil version, just like Berserker does. They'll have this cover and then also a foil version of the same thing. And then we have the FOC reveal variant, which you can only see by watching shows like this.
It's by Becky Cloonan too.
Mm-hmm. And then this one is the Lee variant, cover L.
Claw hammer is an interesting way to fight demons. I didn't think about that. Okay, next up we have the next, I guess, volume or whatever of the hit Harley Quinn, the animated series. The Eat Bang Kill Tour was huge. People clamoring for more of that. We have it here with Harley Quinn, the animated series, Legion of Bats, #1. This is going to be another 6-part miniseries. And in this one, it takes place after the events of season 3 of the Harley Quinn animated series. And if you didn't watch that, to catch you up what happened, it seems like now Harley Quinn is a member of the Bat family. She is an honorary member of the Bat family, much to the other Robins, everything don't necessarily love that. But to make matters worse, Ivy has been preparing for her role in taking over the Legion of Doom. So it's definitely a house divided. And but what happens when someone from Poison Ivy's past comes in and attempts to kind of break up their happy relationship? So check this one out. I saw who that character is, and it's pretty cool. I feel like it's a character we have not seen in this animated universe so far. So if you didn't read the previous one, just FYI, this is a very mature title. They don't censor any of the words and the balloons or anything. The first speech bubble of this book would cement it as R-rated. So keep that in mind. But it's really fun, over the top action comedy, really cool. So this is our A cover, and then we have our Dan Hip variant.
Okay, so remember back when the Batman came out and everybody went and saw it. We all liked it. It was really cool.
There was the Bat Calzone.
The Bat Calzone. Who can forget that? Look that up on YouTube later. Anyhow, I remember this was announced back then that they were going to do this Riddler miniseries. This is a 6-issue miniseries that is an official prequel to the Batman movie. It focuses on the Riddler's history. Who is he? What's his past? How did this forensic accountant rise up to the level where he almost takes down like the city? But what was really interesting and why this was reported on early was that Paul Dano, the actor who played Riddler, he's writing this. Cool. He wrote this. So I don't know if that's ever really been done before in that way.
Actor writing the character.
Danny DeVito, didn't he write a little short story?
He did do a Penguin.
Yeah. Not a full comic.
Yeah, so anyway, that's really interesting that they're doing this, and I assume Paul Dano has some writing credentials. I didn't look into that earlier. But anyway, so that's what this is about. 6-issue miniseries by the actual actor who played Riddler, telling his official story that does link in with the Batman movie. So pretty cool there. So we got our main cover. We have, this is the Subic variant. And lastly, this is the Jim Lee variant. However, this is the incentive one. Now, the reason I'm showing this is there's going to be an open order Jim Lee variant, and we think it's going to be this one colored. Mm-hmm. So typically the colored one, open order, you can order it for regular price. And then the incentive, the one where we have to order so many to get one of, and usually they sell for a lot more money, is this one.
Yeah.
But we didn't want people to miss it. Colored one's not available, but picture this colored somehow. And let your store know if you want that Jim Lee open order one.
All right, another iteration of Eve. This was a really popular sci-fi adventure series that released earlier this year, maybe late last year. It's coming back. So this is Eve, Children of the Moon. It's going to be a 5-part miniseries written by Victor LaValle with art by Joe Mignon. So Eve has saved the world once already with her trusted android teddy bear protector there. After a deadly virus broke out, and now they are back again. They thought they saved the world, but there are still threats at hand. So this series asks what kind of world we are leaving for our children. And once again, this was a really popular Boom series for at least us here. So hopefully this one will be exciting for some of you. We have the cover A from Anindito and the Lindsay cover B.
It's interesting too because Eve before was all about like a flooded city,
Right.
and then this one looks like kind of a frozen.
Totally different environment.
Yeah.
And I think before she was looking for her father.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while. This was a really cool series, but yeah, I would say this was not this. I think this was the previous year. This was quite some time ago. But yeah, I'm really excited it's coming back. Okay, so next we're going to get to other number ones, beginning with.
It's kind of a number one because it's an annual, but we wanted to kind of push it up in here so you heard about it because this is going to be coming out around the same time as the live action Werewolf by Night. This is Moon Knight Annual number one, and of course features Werewolf by Night. You can see him there. This is when there's a prophecy in the Darkhold about how a god may die, and something about Werewolf by Night. He needs to do this and to save his people, and he's got his sights set on Moon Knight to be the god he's going to take out. So that sounds like it's going to be a big fight between Werewolf by Night and Moon Knight. In this one, so I'm really excited about this. I think this is really cool, great timing, and I'm glad that that character is now being brought into the forefront because I feel like a lot of people don't know much about that character other than he's just a werewolf.
And it's funny because I think, because of his show, Moon Knight is way more known than Werewolf by Night at this point, but they are tied together forever because Moon Knight had his first appearance in a Werewolf by Night book.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of you watching know this, but for those of you who don't, that's just good knowledge to have.
How funny is it that, like, the apprentice has become the master, how he kind of overtook that one. But Werewolf by Night's coming back for his title.
Yep.
In this one, this is our A cover, and then we have our Nick Klein variant.
All right, so more from the Hellboy universe. This is Hellboy in Love.
No.
I mean, he's been to hell. He's fought Rasputin. He's done all kinds of things. It's time for Hellboy to meet someone and fall in love. So this is going to just be a 5-issue miniseries. And in it, Hellboy gets hired to protect a train full of artifacts that keeps getting robbed by a bunch of goblins. A very Hellboy job.
Yeah.
And on the train is a woman named Anastasia, and she is a archaeologist. And apparently, some romance is gonna happen between her and Hellboy. So, it's almost like they were talking about what are the things that have happened to Hellboy, because they've definitely had Hellboy had some failed romances, but I think this one they're leaning more into it. So kind of a new take, a new story for him. So 5-issue miniseries. It's being co-written by Mignola, and just this one cover.
I like the background. The goblin face is kind of a
heart.
All right, Andy. Well, I'm hoping you can save my butt because I just realized that I wasn't able to find this.
Halloween.
Oh, that's why. Because I typed in Halloween multiple times and it didn't come up.
No.
Because it's Queen.
It's Halloween.
I did have 1 second. Is any of you going over Hatchet later? Hatchet Halloween. There's a new Victor Crowley Hatchet Halloween. That's what I was able to find. So Andy's going to save me here and tell me what this is.
So this is funny. So as I'm putting the show together, I look at all the new number ones coming out and everything, and of course, this cover really stuck out to me, Halloween. And so, as reading about it, but if you didn't know, there is a melodic metal German band called Halloween. That this is from Opus Press. They've been doing a lot of these like music inspired comics that incorporate bands or whatever. They did the Evanescence one,
Cradle of
Filth, all this. So the funny thing I do is I did it with Cradle of Filth. As I'm like putting the stuff together, I'm like, I'm gonna listen to this band. So I've got my headphones in and I listened to Halloween just to be like, what's their thing? And so this one is the subtitle Seekers of the Seven Keys. was like their number one song on that playlist for like iTunes top ones. So I listened to this and everything, but it's taking, like they do with a lot of these, they're taking the songs and everything and kind of interpreting them into stories. So I believe this is just going to be a one shot, but it looks really cool. This is actually a wraparound cover. We don't have the other side here. It sounds really fun. So if you're a fan of that or these kind of like music comic mashups, this one will be really cool.
And don't make the mistake I did by typing in Halloween multiple times and not being able to find it, because it is indeed Halloween.
I hope there's like a cameo by Sonic in this, because I swear I see Sonic rings right on that cover.
Oh, okay. So following that up, it kind of works together. This is Monsters of Metal one shot. Again, from Opus doing their music and metal crossovers. This one is not based on any band in particular, but this is going to take the classic monsters and put them in a band and send them on tour. But what is big about this? This is actually written by Jason Howden, the director of Guns Akimbo, the with Daniel
That movie.
Radcliffe.
Yeah.
This is written by him, and it's just a one shot, but you can kind of see from the covers we're going to show what this is, the kind of tone they're setting. All the covers are by the artist, last name is Christensen. So this is our A cover. We've got our B cover with the Bride of Frankenstein. Looks like she's playing the guitar.
On the guitar.
We've got Medusa as our lead screamer. We have Wolfman on drums. And I love this last one. This is Jack on guitar. So another just really fun one, music and comic and Halloween mashup book coming out.
Another good comic with Halloween coming up is this is called Nightfall Double Feature. What's pretty interesting is it's sort of like going to a movie double feature. You're going to see two different movies by two different creative teams, and that's what they're doing, but in a comic. So this is going to tell two different comic tales, but they're both ongoing. Okay, so it's not just a little anthology one shot. Each of these stories is ongoing. It's by the creative teams who do Autumnal, The Plot, Resonant. The first story is called The Cemeterians, and it has something to do with like bones start growing out of inorganic things. Like all of a sudden, I guess it's
really
like,
disturbing.
yeah, you look at your car tire, bones are growing out. And so this group has to try to figure out what's going on there. The second story is called Denizen, and it's about a family going through the Joshua Tree State Park, how this evil force starts corrupting them. I think it like maybe takes over the mother. So that's the general premise. But I just like that's pretty neat. It's like two teams are like, hey, instead of each of us doing a comic, let's just do a double feature comic, but keep it going.
That's interesting because there's been a lot of that, but it's the same writer doing multiple stories or whatever.
Yep. So that is what Nightfall Double Feature is about. Here is the Sheehan variant. And you can tell this one definitely focuses on the Denizen story. And then here is the Jason Alexander variant. All right, now we're going to get to cool covers and other comics. This is going to be variants that we think are noteworthy this week, and issue number 2s and 3s of an ongoing series that maybe you read the first one, and you need to just be reminded to sign up for the rest of them.
With number 6, this is the Fiona Staples cover. Fiona Staples of Saga fame doing a DC cover, so really interesting here. It's also Jason Todd versus Dick Grayson in this issue. Who is the best Robin? We will find out here in this issue.
Yeah, we never hear about Fiona Staples doing
anything other than Saga.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And next up we have Batman Superman World's Finest number 8. Just read number 7 this last week. Great issue introducing Boy Thunder. And in this one, they are Batman and Superman struggle to train Boy Thunder. I don't know why he's going to be an issue training, but something's going to go up. And plus, the little sneak peek at the end we saw of some of the threats coming up starts playing out even more in this issue. This is our A cover, and we have our Clark variant.
Okay, so this is the Sandoval variant for Black Adam #5. In this, so Black Adam's back to life. Well, he has to deal with real world stuff again. And one of the things he has to deal with is a very angry Bruce Wayne. It doesn't say why, but it's probably a worldly business political issue. So that's what's going to be happening in Black Adam #5. And then here is the Sway variant. This is the Black Adam movie variant by Sway.
Is Black Adam a miniseries or an ongoing?
It's a 12-issue maxi series.
Oh, okay, 12.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Catwoman #48. This is the Sozomaka cover B for this. And this, two of Catwoman's former lovers meet. I don't think they want to meet. It's Valmont and Batman cross paths in this issue. And a really great cover from Sozomaka.
That is great. It looks like sort of watercolor
Mm-hmm.
in parts of it.
And then we have DC versus Vampires All Out War #4 of 6. This really cool Batwoman with horns cover.
Okay, so this is the regular cover to Flash issue 787. And what I'll say is there's a return of a Wildstorm character in this. Last issue promised that Flash was going to turn into a professional wrestler. I think, as you can see on this cover, that's going to happen. So I wonder if other Wildstorm characters are going to start filtering into the DC universe. Andy got to read a advanced copy of this, so he told me which character.
Yeah.
I won't reveal that, but it sounds really cool. This issue also promises that Flash is going to get clotheslined. For those who don't know, that's when one wrestler holds out their arm like this and runs into the other character, typically on the chest or neck, and just knocks them back.
But when you're going super speed, that may be bad for your arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have some variants here. Here's the Cambidias variant. And here is the Ijukir variant for Black Adam movie.
And then we have Nightwing #97, almost reaching 100. This is the cover B from Jamal Campbell. A really pretty, almost looks like sunrise or sunset.
Flying with the Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Titans United Blood Pact #2 of 6. I just read this one this week. Really cool. Just kind of a classic Titans team up book. Not really in any firm continuity. Just if you are a fan of the TV show Titans, it's kind of playing off of that. This is our Chew variant. And then we have our Raza Black Adam variant.
All right, so this is the main cover to Exterminators #2. So #1 just released this week. I think it shocked everyone with how extreme this comic is. How much blood, how much cursing. These ladies get up to no good. Of course, they're pushed to it, though. It's not really their fault. But you got Dazzler, you got Jubilee, you got Boom Boom, and you have Laura Kinney, Wolverine, all together. So more of that good old blood and violence, getting away from the axe stuff for a minute, letting them do something completely different. And here is the Gomez variant for that issue #2. You X fans, if you want some real crazy fighting and stuff, go grab that #1 if you haven't already.
All right, then we have this Avengers Forever. This is the NetEase Games variant, and this looks like a cosplay cover for a second, but I don't think it is.
No.
It just looks so realistic.
It's a beautiful cover.
Yeah, for Avengers Forever #10.
Then we have Amazing Spider-Man #12. This is the Delato Miracle Man cover. And what's interesting about this is it says it's Glider versus Glider and Pumpkin Bomb versus Pumpkin Bomb, but it's Goblin versus Spidey because Spider-Man now has kind of the equipment of Hobgoblin. So it sounds like it's going to be a big fight with those two. We also have another variant. This is the Riley Windowshades variant. And I wanted to note about this that you see in the reflection, that is the Gold Goblin, which is getting his own miniseries coming up, which I believe it's Norman Osborn, but now that he's kind of reformed, is going to be the Gold Goblin. But this could be the first appearance or first cover appearance of Gold Goblin.
Interesting. Yeah, I can't think of any.
No, I don't know yet if he's going to appear in the interiors of you know, between now and when this comes out.
Since it's a reflection, maybe people will call it a cameo cover appearance. Like we'll start
Oh,
subdividing
gosh.
even further. Okay, this is the uh, Cheo variant for Strange number 7. And in this issue, so Death now has its own Sorcerer Supreme. If you read the last issue, the Huntsman identity was revealed, or I'm sorry, the Harvestman. Harvestman's identity was revealed. It's pretty shocking. And Death now has its own Sorcerer Supreme. So now we're going to get to go forward with that plot line and see how all that plays out.
And next up is Venom number 12. This is Venom World continuing in this. Dylan Brock's physical body and his codex are in grave condition. This is the Stegman variant. Yes, and then we have the Miracle Man variant.
Stegman doing more Venom stuff.
Yeah, both of the covers by Stegman. He just can't not do Venom.
Yeah.
And then we have Dr. Aphra, Star Wars Dr. Aphra, number 25. Aphra's hitting that 25 issue landmark finally, and this is the Greg Land A New Hope 45th anniversary cover.
Here is the NetEase variant for Wolverine number 26. So what's cool is it's great how long they've let this series go. You know, Marvel a lot of times will restart their series after so many issues. And in this, they say this is a great jump-on point. They've particularly made this one where it's like, okay, even if you haven't caught the first 25 of these, go ahead, you can start reading here. So Wolverine is supposed to get a job from Beast. Beast kind of gives him a mission. So we get to see what he has him doing in Wolverine 26.
And then we have X-Men Legends number 3. This is the Adams variant. Very cool.
And I think he was one of the creators of Longshot, wasn't he? Art Adams. I think he was one of the original Mojoverse artists.
Interesting.
So it's cool to see him come back to that.
That's cool.
Okay, then we have Axe Judgment Day, 6 of 6. This is the final issue, even though I bet there'll probably be like a aftermath or something like that. But
Omega.
Omega, yeah, there's all those key terms. But this is the final issue of this one. Should be very interesting because it says, you know, the classic line, will anything be the same after this? Will there even be a world for these heroes to protect? Probably. But we'll have to see. This is a beautiful Mark Brooks A cover. And then we've got this really cool Art Germ variant.
So that's great.
We have the Gia Giordano variant, which I believe is a connecting variant. We have the Peach Momoko variant and the Witter variant.
Okay, here is the Yoon variant for Iron Cat number 5. This is the final issue of this miniseries. In this, Tony Stark and Iron Cat, both in their respective suits of armor, are going to have to go up against every single suit of armor that Tony Stark has. They've all been corrupted by an evil supervillain virus. So from the Hulkbuster armor to probably even new suits he hasn't released yet, they're all coming after them. And it's up to the Iron Man and the Iron Cat to try to survive. So that's what's going on in the final issue of Iron Cat. And again, this is the Yoon variant for that.
And then we have a New Mutants number 31. Interesting. This is a different cover than I was looking at. I was too captivated by a different one. But anyway, this is the Art Adams variant. In this issue, Escapade joins the New Mutants. And this was the breakout character from the Marvel Voices Pride anthology. So very cool for that character.
And then I can't wait for this. I mean, the cover for this already looks like a VHS box art for the old Ninja Turtle show. So this is TMNT Saturday Morning Adventures number 2. What's interesting about this, unlike the G.I. Joe one, each issue of this is basically a standalone episode. They kind of speak of it in terms of the TV show. So each of them are their own episode. And this one, something happens to one of the Turtles' villains that makes them obsessed with like rock and roll. So if that sounds like a good time to you, as you can see on here, is that General Trag?
It's like, what has to happen to you to make you obsessed with rock and roll? Can't you just listen to it and go, I like rock and roll?
Nope, it has to be some like alien beam gets shot
or
into
some
their head
other
or something.
ooze they touch.
Yeah.
Or
So this is our A cover. We have our Laddie B cover, or the last one is the Laddie because it's the A. Then we have the Fosgit variant. Oh, and the last one was the Martin variant.
Okay. So this is issue number 2 of Bone Orchard Black Feathers, which is a 5-issue miniseries that started the other week. This is a new horror series set in the Bone Orchard universe by Jeff Lemire and Sorrentino. So this is the main cover by Sorrentino. Here is the Danny and Simpson variant for issue 2. And then here is the Simmons variant for that issue number 2.
It's very creepy.
If you missed the first issue, it is going back to second print. So there's also the second print one. It's just been recolored a little bit, so you can catch that now.
We sold out of it here. A lot of people were kind of curious about it, and I've heard only good things. I really liked it too. So.
And then we have Pink Lemonade number 2. This is the creator, Nick Cagnetti, does the art and the writing on this one. Unfortunately, number 1 is not released yet, so this is going to be hard to order or hard to get off the shelf. So if you know you're going to be interested in this, sounds like a really cool. Pink Lemonade is our hero character, and it just looks like wild and super indie, but fun. So if you were interested in this title, you probably want to go ahead and get number 2 because 1 is not here.
Number 1 is this week.
Yeah.
Is this Tuesday or Wednesday, depending.
Yes.
I really like the background character too, because he's very like Rob Liefeld or almost like a Jack Kirby type character.
Yeah, with the little Transformers thrown in there.
Yeah. And then we have Rick and Morty 100. Rick and Morty has hit issue 100, which is pretty big for a comic based off of like a cartoon tie-in. I think the only other one I can think of would be like Looney Tunes or something. But this one has, so I'm not sure if how much of this issue is original because it says highlights from stories, like previous stories, plus special bonus features. So there may be either like some of the funniest jokes in it or whatever. I don't really know. If you're willing to risk it, you can pick this one up. We also have the Fleeks variant.
Yep, and then latest season Rick and Morty is going right now, so sort of timely that they made it to their issue 100 in their comic while the show is sort of has new episodes coming out. Okay, so this is the trading card variant to Mad Balls versus Garbage Pail Kids. I believe this is the final issue of the series. It says that it's the conclusion to the story because we've all been held in place, captivated by this story. I mean, it's funny. I read these. These are funny. The story itself, it's like they live near each other. They don't like each other.
Yeah,
and that's all the story that you need. But it is funny. This promises the grand conclusion. So anyhow, trading card variant to Madball versus Garbage Pail Kids number 4.
And then we have Vampirella Strikes number 6. This is the Caldwell variant. It's awesome. Halloween trick-or-treating variant. So very cool.
Yeah, I like what they're doing with the light. It's that light that happens when a door is starting to open.
Yeah.
So
she probably gets a lot of candy at certain houses.
Okay, so now here comes our final segment, other printings and graphic novels.
Starting with, this one's awesome. I love the Detective 27 they did. They just did Action Comics this week. They're doing books that are very hard to find printings of. And this one, maybe most of all, this is Marvel Family #1 facsimile edition. This is the first appearance of Black Adam. Not even his, Silver Age first appearance, which you can find from time to time. It's very expensive. This is back all the way from 1945. So if I'm guessing most people have not read this, and very cool kind of era in comics that a lot that we know now has come from. So
I would love it if this ever came through our store.
Gosh,
we get a lot of good stuff. This is never.
No, this has never come through here. But yep, only $3.99 for this facsimile. Great price. Really cool.
Okay, so Stuff and Nightmares, the new series from R.L. Stine, is getting a second print to its issue number 1. It's been recolored. So anyone who didn't hear about that or heard about it late, your store ran out, or you just want all the printings of it, here is your announcement that there's a second print for Stuff and Nightmares #1 by R.L. Stine.
And then we have Flashpoint Beyond, collected for $16.99. This is the continuation of the Flashpoint story with Thomas Wayne Batman trying to figure out why his world exists again. So get it all for $16.99.
Then we have a really cool omnibus. This is Nova, and it make sure to let you know it's Nova Richard Rider omnibus because there's been a lot of Novas, but this was the original one for $100. It is 880 pages. So this is our main cover, and then we have our direct market Pollard variant.
All right, so Punisher's ongoing series, the newest one right now by Jason Aaron, is being collected for its first volume. So this will be the first 6 issues. It is called King of Killers. You know, it's kind of cool because sometimes I'll be reading a comic and I don't know that the arc has a title.
Yeah.
And then you see the trade and it's like, oh, okay. So makes sense considering the position he has been in through this arc. So if you want the collected edition of this, it is $24.99.
And then we have Godzilla versus Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This has been a huge hit series around here. It's $17.99. It is Rita Repulsa finds a stone to another world where the Power Rangers do not exist. Unfortunately, on the world she goes to, as you do, and the Power Rangers find their way here anyway. So all goes awry. It's the team up you didn't know you needed, but you do need for $17.99.
All right, and that is our show for today.
Yes, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure to subscribe to our channel here and also go check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Whatnot app, where we do auctions multiple times every week. If you want to get some comics from us, we'd love to have you there. Until then, be safe, and we'll see you next time.
Yep. In fact, Megan will be on Whatnot tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Time,
Yes.
for those of you who like to buy comics. So,
I know I do.
so long.